What does success in life mean for you?
And for me, success is actually doing something that transform other people's life.
Yeah. And you can do that as a feminist economist or as a parent, right? Like you can make that happen in all aspects of your life. And so I love that answer. Um, when did you know you were really good at what you do?
And the first time I joined the government, it was in the Ministry of Economy. They were all the people were all male economists than myself, and we reached to have this design and run. I run this huge cash transfer for youth that is called Progress, and I felt good there, and I thought, okay, I can really transform life from here, from public policy. I worked in many places before, but I understood the power of public policy when it's well designed, when people get to understand it and get to know the public policy is there. I think that most of the things that are going on globally, they were between other things because people don't really value the presence of the state or really felt the state close enough in the last periods. And so now in Argentina, I'm working with a lot of people to 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 thinking in an alternative platform, not only on care and feminist issues, but about the Argentina we want to build, because they are really hard days here in the south.
Mm. Well, that makes me want to ask you, do you think you'll run for office?
But it depends if I don't think in that as an individual I would say project, but we are working in a collective platform that is called Futuros Mejores. It will say in English, it will be like better futures
Mhm.
in rural. And I focus in this period in ideas rather than people, because I think the last time we were in government there was too much focus on the people and on the names, what we say in the politics and
Mm.
what the idea in the politics. And I think that was part of the problem.
Yeah. Okay. And Lucia, can you describe a personal habit that contributes to your well being so you can do everything you do in the world?
I work a lot and I plant a lot. Yeah.
Plant, like outside?
Plan. No.
Oh,
Plan. I plan.
plan.
I
Yeah. Okay. And what superpower did you discover you had only to realize it was there all the time?
I think I spend a lot of time listening to people, but also trying to understand people who does a thing like me,
Mm.
and try to be, I would say, empathic. It's okay,
Mhm. And
empathic,
with empathy?
and with empathy. And I try to work a lot of on that, and also because I think in this also in power spheres, this double standard that maybe you work for social justice, but then you're not so good with your own people. And I try to work a lot on that because I think that doesn't have any sense, and I think that happens a lot in politics.
Oh, yeah. I think that's true. I think you named a really very important issue there. Um, Lucia, what advice would you give your younger self, say 10, 15 years ago?
Have some rest because once you become a mother, you won't. That's a fair.
I love
No,
that.
but
That's so true.
to younger people, I would say, like believe in the power of your own ideas and opinions. That you just think they are just opinions or ideas that doesn't have any value. They have value. Work on that and share it.
Mm, I love that. And you obviously identify as a feminist in your professional life. How does that go into your personal life as well?
Well, of course, it has a lot of contradictions, like all the ideas that go through our minds. But well, I have the father of my children is someone with I to whom I with whom I share the air burden, and who really works with me in that way. I think feminism also help us to understand many things in our past life. Also, I would say not only on balance that we have maybe watched when we were children, but also to understand. Another thing is regarding the future of feminism. Understand what happened with fathers, but also what happened with boys when their masculinity is broken. So I think one of the key or one of the strategies for the future of feminism is regarding building an alternative male, I would say, model, right? Because
Yeah.
many of the younger guys, boys here in Argentina, they say they join these radical ideas regarding or against women because they couldn't find a place for them in the new structure. I would say.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's our fault
Yeah.
or responsibility to build it, but at least what I'm trying to do is to call these fathers all around the world that are actually taking more care of their children than their own fathers did
Mhm.
to speak.
Yeah.
They are not speaking, but they are doing more care work than their what they own fathers did. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm
Yeah.
saying correctly in English.
Yeah, no, that's right, and, at least here, there are some organizations already, uh, created that center fathers that, are all about working to support fathers to be in their children's lives and to create a different model of masculinity, so, yeah, I hear that. Thank you for sharing that, and last question, Lucia, what are you reading right now? What's on your nightstand?
Well, now I'm reading a book from Tamara Tenenbaum, who is a writer here in Argentina. It's like an essay. She's it's interesting. She made a translation of Virginia Woolf's book. How to say it in English? Un cuarto propio. I was saying
A
my
room
own.
of your own. A room of your
Yeah,
own. Yeah.
and her book now is called A Million of Own Rooms, and she
Uh-huh.
talks about this era and how many different identities at the same time going on, and it depends on which group are you belonging. You have this whole vision of life that is the opposite from someone maybe it's on your own neighborhood, you know, and that the algorithm how this how goes deep with this.
Mm.
And it's interesting, but of course, I'm reading it very, very slowly because my nights, I have two girls, from one has 4 years and the other one year. So
Oh,
I don't know.
wow. So you don't sleep. You're a mom of young kids and very little time for reading. But we will share that essay book with our listeners. And because people always like to know what our guests are reading. And Lucia, it's been such a pleasure having you on the show today.
The pleasure is mine.